AI, the talk of the town, can detect if you have recently smoked cannabis, they're saying. That's right. An artificial intelligence model can detect if someone has recently used cannabis. This could one day help to identify intoxicated people who may require medical care, but some experts have stressed that further research is required with a larger group of people. I wonder if they're saying that because it's plus size persons day, but I don't know. Urine, saliva, and hair strand tests can reveal if someone has used cannabis. However, these can take a fair amount of time to analyze, and cannabis use does not immediately show up in some bodily fluids. Sang Wang Bi, a Stevens Institute of Technology in New Jersey, and her colleagues wanted to create a way of quickly assessing whether someone may be dangerously intoxicated. They, therefore, had 33 adults who use cannabis at least twice a week report their use every day for up to 30 days. During that study period, the participants were on activity tracker to collect information on their heart rates, step counts, and sleep quality. Sensors on the participants' phones also provided information on their micro movements, such as how they held their phone to gauge their stability and coordination. Data from these participants was used to train the AI to detect if someone may have used cannabis. The researchers then tested the trained AI on the remaining participants' data. When taking into account the number of false positives and negatives that the AI flagged, it was 85% accurate at detecting someone who had been moderately intoxicated within the past 5 minutes. The AI can continuously interpret data collected from the activity tracker and sensors, and medical professionals could look back at historical data stored within the AI and see when any unusual activity started, which may suggest when someone became intoxicated. It's about preventing harm from happening and keeping people safe, says Tommy Chang, one of the researchers at Rutgers University in New Jersey. However, Joseph Wu at Stanford University in California and Mark Chadney at Western University in Canada both say that the AI requires testing in a larger group of people. The researchers also didn't report how much THC the participants consumed or their route of cannabis administration, such as smoking versus ingestion, says Chandy. And both of these can affect a person's degree of cannabis intoxication, he says. And Chung says that the accuracy of the AI depended on how the participants self-reported their cannabis use. If they're not reliably reporting on that, that could be a problem for the AI model, she says. Wu says that the drug effects questionnaire, which asks people to report how they feel after taking a substance, may be a more quantitative way of assessing cannabis intoxication. Well, I think these kids are just bored with nothing to do because they're coming up with these dumbass assignments for them to do and these dumb studies, and I'm just not buying the fact that an AI is going to tell me whether or not I'm intoxicated. But you know who's going to buy into this? Probably the government, and they'll probably put an AI robot in a cop car to tell if whether or not you're intoxicated or not. And this is Jason Beck for the High at 9 News. What do y'all think about this?
Shit.
Right?
There's just no way to what we're ultimately talking about is if you're driving,
it's not a substitute for thinking,
right?
It's not a substitute for intuition.
Well, tell that to Gen Z. Tell that to Gen Z, Dr. Mark.
Is machine language learning from the internet, and we know how much bullshit is posted out on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So until they work out all these bugs, I think AI certainly has its place as a tool to help writers be creative and whatnot, but you still need to humanify the AI output. But I don't know. Ask the other Mark. I don't think AI would hold up in court today because it's so flawed and so imperfect and so unhuman.
I agree with that. And there's no way it's going to detect impairment and whether you're actually impaired to drive. There's just no way to do it. It's going to be picking up cannabis that you smoked 2 weeks ago that is now carboxy THC in your body that's not even psychoactive anymore. And so that's the problem with all the testing that's out there. We're fighting these cannabis DUIs every day, and the worst ones are the people who I smoked 2 hours ago. And that's where you get yourself into trouble, because now
you've
reefer
admitted it.
madness will be on the jury, and one of those jurors, you smoked 2 hours ago? Well, Christ, you should be in your house for at least 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
You got people out there. That's the mentality. So it's going to be a long, long time, if ever, I think, that they're going to have something that's the equivalent to the alcohol that they've created in terms of, like, California, 0.08.
Mm-hmm.
You're legally presumed to be impaired to drive based on the decades of research and testing and everything they've done. There's just no way to do that with cannabis, I don't think.
Dr. T, what do you think about this, Dr. T? You with us, Dr. Talleyrand?
I can't read your lips.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Dr. Talleyrand. You got to... No, Dr. Talleyrand, you're just on mute. You're just on mute.
Yeah,
you just got to unmute.
What you have to say, though.
Yep, there we go. There we go.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we good.
Right.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Yeah.
What it seems like they're doing is collecting a bunch of data points and making correlation from multiple data points, like your heart rate, your activity level, and whether you've used cannabis or not, which is self-reported. So this seems very far away from a type of detection that would say that you're too intoxicated to drive. I think the problem I think what's unusual is that they're using multiple data points, right? So with alcohol, we're just checking your blood level. With this, we're checking your activity level and your heart rate and your cannabis use pattern to determine if you're intoxicated. What's curious is, what is the law going to say about this? With all these multiple data points, it's an unusual situation. AI in the courtroom, and is it valid enough to say, yes, you're intoxicated? I don't think so, but it's going to be an interesting legal fight.
I think, Dr. T, I think all it takes is one precedent-setting case where they allow it in court to be administered, or to be admitted as evidence, and then once that ruling comes down, it's going to be an uphill battle to try to reverse course.
Well, if you lose in the courts, but I think if you have a good lawyer who argues against it, with good scientists.
Yeah, but a lot of these, I get that, but a lot of these people that fight these cases don't get anything but public defenders, and that is not good legal representation for them, and could just be sandbagging them up the river for the prosecutor's office.
Right. Well, we need to get them to use Mark.
We try.
Yes. Yes, we just need to teach more people to shut the fuck up, huh, Mark?
That'll help.
That's right. And what is today, Mark?
Shut the fuck up Friday.
There we go. Yes, indeed.
But is there any legal precedence to using it now that AI is more prevalent out there? Is there legal precedence to using AI to AI-derived calculations to determine any legal outcome? I think this is going to be new to the courts.
I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't come to fruition in the courtroom yet. And it'll be interesting when it does. It's just more stuff for us to fight, and more reason to shut the fuck up. As I said, that's one of the things with these cannabis DUIs that's gonna get you. That's how you get yourself into. That's how you get yourself arrested. Yeah. We just got somebody the other day who pulled up to a checkpoint and got all nervous and hadn't, are you drinking today? And no alcohol. Are you smoking anything? Well, yeah, I smoked my medicine, 3-4 hours ago. Pull off to the side right now. Get him out of the car. Have him do the field sobriety test, which in California, and Google your state, you don't have to do. They're voluntary. And every time you do it, they're going to say you failed, and then they're going to take you in. And as I told this guy, if you pull up to a checkpoint and you say, I'm not discussing my day to any of their questions, and you're not falling all over, you're not drooling
over yourself.
going to let you go. You're going to go right on your way. So people just have to stop feeling comfortable that, hey, it's my medicine. What's the problem? And there's too many people who don't understand that this is what it's going to lead to, and you're going to spend the night in jail. We'll have a good chance at getting it all thrown out and dismissed or beating it, but now you got to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you have to go through it, if you end up at trial, you got a 50-50 shot, no matter what the fuck's going on. Trial is, who knows what's going to happen with 12, well, as my dad used to say, 12 idiots in a box. What are you going to do?
Yeah.